Hello my bees, in today's video we are going to be continuing with this tiny painting series, and I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can create this landscape too. This video will be beginner friendly, I promise. I'm going to show mostly real-time footage here, so you will be able to paint this too. I've taken one A5 sheet of canvas paper, put down a layer of yellow paint, but this will work with any bright colour. For the painting part, I'll be using black and white paint only, a small flat paintbrush and some wet cotton tips. Here you can see I'm just establishing where the land part of the landscape is going to be. It's important to remember that we are not going to cover all of that yellow, and I'm just showing you the cotton tips which I will be using later. Remember, you're going to have a focal point somewhere in the painting, and mine is kind of in the center of that landmass area. So if you have your paint set up, you can do this at home. So here comes the cotton bud. It's actually wet. I dipped it into water before I've used it. And I'm just kind of feathering out the edges. And then I'm toning the rest of the foreground there using this wet cotton bud. So back in with some darker greys. You decide where the darkest areas are and where the lightest areas are, but do remember you're not going to cover all of that yellow. I think this would actually work really well with pink as well, which, as some of you might know, is my favourite colour. I'm going to be doing a pink series as well, but that's in the future at some stage. So now I thought, let me work on this stormy kind of sky, and I do want to make sure once again that I'm leaving some of that yellow visible, just a small amount. Most of the visible yellow part is going to be in that sort of lake area. So as you can see, it's not a very dark grey. And just a bit of a lighter grey with some more titanium white on the brush. Remember, you don't have to blend everything forever. And what I mean by that is some people think when I put down a brush stroke, I've got to just blend it all out. But if you do that, it doesn't look as painterly. We want this landscape to be kind of abstract, so semi-abstract. Feathering that out with a cotton bud. So it does have to look like a landscape, but I still want it to look a little bit loose. So some blending going on, but just being really careful to not lose all of my yellows. With one hand I'm adding paint, with the other hand I'm just smudging that around a little bit more. Now let's put some trees in here. Even though it is a flat brush, if you use that little square corner, you'll be able to get quite a precise line if you use it on the right angle. Okay, if you're only making contact with your canvas paper and the corner of the brush, you can see it's not quite dry there, so I should probably let that dry. Let me work on something else. I've picked up some more black, I think. Yep, and I'm just fixing up that horizon line. I don't do that many landscapes, but this one was really fun, and if you're a beginner, don't task yourself with really difficult subject matter to paint. Do something easy to begin with, and that's how you build your confidence. It's a really slow process, but I think it's worth doing the easier things first and then moving on to harder, like more technically difficult pieces. So just refining all the different shapes. Remember to leave that central yellow part yellow, and I think I'm going to move back into the sky for a little bit now. I wanted a bit more darkness in the clouds. I wanted it to look like there is a storm coming. Let's smooth the edges a little bit, just a little bit. There we are. Back with the paintbrush now. Just giving some variation to the greys in the sky. I'm not actually using any reference photo here. This is all done from imagination. Sometimes I can imagine exactly what I want to paint. I can't always. But when you get that sudden rush of inspiration, that's the time to sit down and pull out your paints. And like I said, if you're a beginner, just get one vibrant colour, get yourself a black and get yourself a white and a small packet of paintbrushes. That's all you need as a beginner. Trying to put some highlights onto the tree trunk there. You can get quite fine details even with a brush so large. I wanted to just cover a little bit of this yellow, so I've gone in with a bit of light grey. And make sure the brush is kind of almost lying down as a recumbent brush. Tap out a few highlights, just tap the corners. See how you can get more precision if you're using the brush on its side. And then I'm going to go in and just blend a little bit of that out. And then I wanted to just refine the foreground a little bit. Use your imagination, or just pause the video, take a screenshot and use the screenshot to guide you. Which areas are the darkest areas? In my experience, I like painting from darkest to lightest, but that's just me. There are no hard and fast rules in art. It's supposed to be this relaxing activity. You make it the experience you want. Once again, refining things with our wet cotton bud here. Careful not to lose all your yellow. And I'm calling that done. Easy weekend project, a very, very beginner friendly tutorial. Please try it and let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.